So this is a question about banking and types of interest. And so they give us a table and it says the table shows the balance B of a bank account Y years after it was open. Choose the answer that describes the type of interest the account earns and the type of function used to model the balance. And so with interest, there are two types of interest. There's simple interest and there's compound interest. All right, simple interest, and if you look at the answers, you'll see you have choices between simple and compound. Simple interest would just change by the same amount each time. Compound interest, you would divide them and see if there's a common factor there, right? So a constant change as far as a factor goes in dividing them. And so let's first check to see if they're linear. And so to check for that, I'm just gonna take these values and I'm going to subtract them to find the difference here. And so on this one, I get 12.68. And if I go to the next two values and subtract those, so again, I'm subtracting this, I would get, I got a little cheat sheet here that I can't see, 14.29, I think. So 14.29. And I can stop there because you can see it's not a constant change. It's not the same every time. So it is not simple interest. So I know it's compound interest, but just to verify that, the way you would test for that is you would do the same thing. So we're going to see the difference here, but we're going to do it using division. So we're going to divide the values. And when we do that, we get 1.1268. And if you do that for all of these, you're going to find that you get 1.1268 for all of them. All right, so it is compound interest. Now, let me point out when you divide these, some of these you're going to get a slightly different answer. There's going to be a rounding error in here, and that's because the balance here had to be rounded. All right, but if you've got the first three or four digits the same, that's pretty good guess that it's going to be compound interest there. Okay, so don't worry that it's not exactly the same. That's because the balance was actually rounded because it's money and you can only have two numbers after the decimal. All right, so compound interest is that an exponential function or is that a linear function? And so this, what we just did here, is the same way that you test a table of data to find out if it's exponential, if this happens, or if this happened and it was constant, that would be linear. So compound interest is exponential, and you can see that from the values we got when we divided that they were consistent. All right, so this is compound interest and an exponential function. All right, keep working hard, and you will master the math.